Assalamualaikum, my name is ZULALINA binti Zakaria and my mandate number is A19E1002. I am from group 15 and today I'm going to present about the number of suicide deaths in United States by year 2016 until 2018. This study is a study on the number of suicide deaths in the United States. The variable that we have been used in this study is qualitative variables and also the quantitative variables. This is the data of the number of suicide deaths in the United States from 2016 until 2018. Here we can see three tables, which is age, race, or ethnicity, and suicide. For the age table, we can see that the age of 45 until 54 years old is the highest. And then we look at the race or ethnicity table, you can see that the white race started the high number, and the lastly is suicide method, which is the firearm is the highest number with 50.54%. Next is effective frequency distribution. This is for the group data. First, we have to decide the number of class. Here we're using the number of class formula. We're using the 2k more than n, and then after that we input the numbers, the data, until we get the number of class. Second step is we determine the class width. Class width formula is class width equal to maximum entry minus minimum entry divided by number of class. And then we input the data and until we get the class width table after we see. This is the table when after we calculating the number of class and also the width, we can find the midpoint, frequency, relative frequency, cumulative frequency, and also the effects. This is another example, but we use the same way, the same formula. We use the 2k is more than n, and then we just put the data, the number, and then we get the answer, the number of class.
Hi, my name is Hafizul Arif bin Ahmad, metric number A19E0972. So I will present the graphical method to represent data. So this is the graph, histogram graph. Histogram chosen as the graphical method since it's a bar graph that emphasizes the distribution of value in frequencies. The horizontal scale is the midpoint of the age, and the vertical scale will be the frequencies of the years. We can see the statistic data shown in this histogram. The youngest is the lowest one of the number of suicide deaths, while the adult is the highest one. This is the pie chart. The data show the percentage difference between 3 consecutive years, 2016, 2017, and 2018. This difference can be identified from the data source obtained from the statistic of the number of suicides in the United States. From the data that has collected can produce a pie chart that shows the difference between the 3 years. The years 2016 and 17 show the similarity of the statistic data, which is 33%. The highest number of suicide in the United States is in 2018, show the highest data at 34%.
Hey, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Asraf bin Muhammad Yusri, and my metric number is A19A1167. Today I want to present about the numerical descriptive measure. Numerical descriptive measure is a summary statistic that represents the center point of typical value of a dataset. This measure indicates where mass value in a distribution fall and are also referred to as the central location of a distribution. So you can think of it as the tendency of data to cluster around a middle value. In statistics, the three most common measures of central tendency are the mean, median, and mode. Each of these measures calculate the location of the central point using a different method. We use method of group data to analyze the data from the number of suicide deaths from United States in 2016 to 2018. Okay, firstly, mean. Mean is an average of the dataset that found by adding all the number in the dataset and then dividing by the number of value in the set. And we also can refer this formula to calculate mean. Okay, for mean, we just know value, midpoint, and frequency, and FX only. And after we calculate, therefore, the average data of suicide death from United States in 2016 and 2018 was recorded 1405. Okay, median. Median is the value that lies in the middle of data when the data set is ordered. you can follow the formula to calculate median. And after calculate as a result, the median data of suicide rate for United States in 2016 to 2018 has recorded at 19.055. Okay, mode is the number of ampere most frequently in a dataset. A set of number may have one mode, more than one mode, and no mode at all. Okay, you can refer this formula to calculate mode based on table. Okay, after we calculate mode, it can be concluded that the frequently number of suicide death from United States in 2016 and 2018 is at 70.33 only. Okay, measure of position. To find value of measure of position, we must find location QA and Q1 and Q3. After we calculate, we find the Q1 is 14.20 and Q3 is 338.0109. And after this, we must to find the interquity range. And after we calculate, we find 323.89 for interquarter range. Then about the measure of variance. A measure of variance is some parameter attempt to describe the amount of variance between random variables. The parameters that are used to quantify the amount of variance in a set of random variables are variance and standard deviation, and we can follow the formula to calculate. Then after we calculate sample variance, therefore the sample variance is about 504.24, and the sample standard deviation is about 22.46 people. Okay, and about the shape of distribution, we just know value of mean, median, and mode only to create graph shape of distribution. It is skewed to the left if its tail extend to the left. Okay, we can refer the graph after we find value of mean, median, and mode. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Faisarah binti Fattah. My metric number A19A0129, and I will continue for 4.0 statistical analysis using software. So in this point, we use SPSS, or the name is statistical package for the social science for our research to get complex statistical data analysis. So for 4.1, numerical descriptive measure, the SPSS shows the number of suicide dead in United States 2016 to 2018. For mean, we get 70.06, median is 71.25, and mode 67.46. Besides that, the standard deviation show 2.25 with the range 4.01. The shape of distribution of the number of suicide dead in 3 years show that it will skew to the right because mean more, median more, mode.
Alright, hi, my name is SITI binti SUHAIMI. My matrix number is A19A1132. So I will be presenting for the 4.2 and the 4.3. Let's look at the 4.2 first, which is the hypothesis testing. In the hypothesis testing, we have t-test and also we have the ANOVA. So what is the hypothesis testing is about? Hypothesis testing in statistics is a way to measure the outcome of a survey or experiment to see whether you have a meaningful result. It is essentially checking whether the findings are true by identifying the probability that the results have occurred by chance. If the finding could have occurred by chance, the experiment may not be repeatable. So next, what is the t-test? In briefly, a t-test is a form of inferential statistic used to assess if there is a substantial difference between the means of two groups that may be linked to certain feature. So as you can see in the slides here, we have two tables. We have paired sample statistics. Also, we have paired sample test. As for the table paired sample statistic, the mean for the age is 70.06. Meanwhile, the mean for the race or ethnicity is 42.42. The standard deviation for the age is 2.25, and for the race or ethnicity is 1.21. The number of participants in each variable, which is n, is 3. Next, for the second table, which is the paired sample test, in the table, the significant to-tail value in the table is 0.001, as you can see in the slide. This value is less than 0.05. So based on the result, we can conclude that there is a statistically significant difference between the suicide methods for the age and the race or ethnicity. Since our result revealed that the mean number of suicide methods of age is greater than the mean for the race or ethnicity, we also can conclude that age are more likely influence the number of suicide victims in the US. Next, we have ANOVA. The result is in the slide, as you can see. Analysis of variance, which is ANOVA, is an analysis technique used in statistics that separates the observed aggregate variability content in the data set into two parts, which is systematic factors and random factors. Systematic factors have a predictive effect on the data collection, where random factors do not. So let's look at the results. All right, the p-value from the ANOVA table is less than 0.05. We may therefore conclude that there is a statistically significant difference between the three conditions. This may also suggest that variations between circumstances means are largely unrelated to adjustment and are likely to be due to IV manipulation. Let's move on to the next part, which is correlation analysis. As you can see here, we have the descriptive statistics and also the correlation is used to assess the association between quantitative variables or categorical variables. In other words, it's a measure of how things relate to each other. So as for the first table, which is descriptive statistics, it shows that mean for the age is greater than the race or ethnicity with 70.06 compared to 42.42. Same goes to the standard deviation. The age is 2.25 more than the race or ethnicity, which is 1.21. The end for the result is 3. As for the second table, which is the correlations, based on this table, this means there is a solid interaction between the two variables. This also implies that changes in one variable are closely associated with changes in the second variable. You can see here the H null. We have the H null as there is no relation between suicide rate in United States received by the suicide methods via age and race or ethnicity. Basically, the H1 is the contradict for the H null. So based on these two hypotheses, it shows that p-value, our p-value is 0.343, which is meanwhile we have the alpha for 0.01. So it means that we cannot reject the null hypothesis since the p-value is greater than the alpha. We can conclude here that there is a relation between age and race or ethnicity. All right, that's all for the correlation analysis and hypothesis testings. Let's move on to the next part.
So lastly, we go to 4.4, that is confidence interval. Confidence interval is a range of value within which the population parameter is expected to occur. We can see this analysis for age and race. Example, the data shows data of age for 95%, confidence interval for lower and upper bound is 64.45 and 75.66. While data for race, like Asian, American, black and white is 39.41 and 45.43.
Number 5 is theoretical modeling. Here we have the matrix graph here. We can see that the relationship between the age and the ethnicity or race. Based on the figure above, we can see that the older the age, the higher the suicide rate in the United States. Based on this graph also, we also can see that white race are the highest race in the suicide rate in the United States. Next is the correlation table. By using the SPSS, we got this. Okay, the R value between the age and the ethnicity is 0.858, which is more than 0.3. So the ethnicity or race is associated with the age. Next is model summary. By using the same SPSS, we got this table. The R square value is 0.737, which is equal to 73.7% of the variance in age, can be explained by one's level of the ethnicity or race. The adjusted R square is 0.473, which means equal to 47.3%. Next is ANOVA table. We are using the SPSS to get the ANOVA table. So the p-value from the ANOVA table is more than 0.001, which is, we can see at the table, we get the 0.343, Here we can see that the result is within chance or normal sampling error. In another hand, we can say that nothing happened to the test or the test is not significant. The last is equation table. We also can get the coefficient table from the SPSS. The equation of a line is y equal to mx plus b. Therefore, the equation of the line using ethnicity or race to predict age would be y equal to 1.598x plus 2.266. In another hand, the equation of age is equal to 2.266 plus 1.598 for the ethnicity or race. Therefore, for every unit increase in ethnicity or race, the age will increase by 1.598. Based on the standardized beta coefficient, the effect of the ethnicity or race is 0.858, which is higher than the age that does not have any data according to the coefficient table. The p-value for the ethnicity or race is 0.343, which is more than 0.05. Therefore, the ethnicity or race is not significant predictor of age. For the ethnicity, the zero-order correlation values is more than 0.3, which is 0.858. However, the value of zero-order correlation, partial correlation, and the part correlation is remain the same with 0.585. The VIF values is below 5, which is indicating that there is no problem of multicollinearity. Next is conclusion. We are using the SPSS to find the numerical descriptive measures, hypothesis testing, correlation analysis, and also confidence intervals. This SPSS method can help to get the accurate calculation, for example, like the mean, median, and also the standard deviation. So, in conclusion, the age is affect the number of suicide deaths in the United States by year 2016 until 2018, while the ethnicity or race is not significant with the suicide rate in the United States by year 2016 and 2018. Thank you. Thank you.